Happy Sundays with
Hello,
Cinnamon.
everyone. Sorry we missed you last week.
I know. Happy Mother's Day to you.
Yeah, and to everyone. And I had a glorious Mother's Day. I had a wonderful visit with my son that lasted less than an hour. And I hadn't seen him in a while, so we made the most of that hour. And that's it. He called me this morning. He's on his way back to Washington, to Albuquerque, and he was saying how wonderful it was that we didn't spend any time talking about how it should be longer or why isn't it this way or that way. He said we just got in there and dug out everything we could in what was the time we had.
It was
love
wonderful. That.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
Taking in every single moment.
Yeah. So what I wanted to talk about today is to avoid allowing other people to define who you are. By that I mean when someone has their judgment of you and they tell you that you're nasty or you're a fraud or you're this or you're that, you're allowing them to define who you are when you buy in. If you make yourself angry or you have to defend in any way what they're saying, you best take a closer look at yourself, because no matter what people say, the words cannot affect who you're being unless there's some grain of truth in it for you.
So true.
If there's an ounce of truth in it, you're going to buy into that, and then you've given your life away to them. And you literally become who they say you are, a fraud. And I've learned over the years, years ago was so concerned about what people thought about me that I would give my soul away. The minute they'd say, "Oh, but you're contradicting yourself," or "Oh, you're a bad girl," I would fall apart, because I was so addicted to them knowing who I really was that I wasn't being who I really was. I didn't have my big girl pants on. And so over the years, I've been so grateful for all of those teachers who came to criticize me or to point out my flaws, to help me to claim my birthright, love and acceptance of myself. You have to hone your skill for loving yourself so much that you will love the people who don't love you. You will find love where it seems not to be, because the very people that are criticizing you or attempting to attack you, I say attempting to attack you because you can only be attacked if you're not fast enough. You got to just get out of the way. You don't want to allow yourself to be attacked. Those are the people that are begging you not to buy in. And this is the difficult part. They're begging you to buy in. So
yeah, their mind wants you to buy in.
That's it. And their spirit is saying, don't do it. Prove to me. Prove to me that it can be done. And so, thank God, I have honed that skill. And I love enough that I won't allow myself to be offended. And as I say, the heart can be wounded. It cannot be broken, especially by words from people who really don't know who you are. Because if you look carefully, those people don't know who they are. Because who we are doesn't set out to hurt or criticize.
Who we really are.
Yeah. Yeah, versus who we think we are. And I like to caution people about thinking who they are. I say don't let other people define you. Don't let your mind define you either. If your mind is not completely tamed, in other words, if it doesn't ever buy in, then you don't want to trust it. You're not who your mind thinks you are. You cannot think your way to your heart. You have to just simply step into it, be it. And
the process of taming it is just, oh my gosh.
There's one thing I like to tell people. I was talking to someone this morning and I said to her, There are a couple of ways you can manage when your mind shows up to say you're not good enough. You can just say, yep, there's a program, there it is again. Or you can simply say, shh, 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 like you would to a child that was starting to wind up and upset themselves. Just shh, shh, shh. Because your mind is like a child. It's so completely programmed to self-reject that you have to just tame it, just like you would a child. Now wait, don't go there, don't do this. Help the child to understand that upsetting themselves is a detriment to them. And that's what you have to help your mind to see. Shh, don't keep repeating that to me. Mm-hmm. And it just takes practice. Just continue to shush your mind when it starts to denigrate you.
You've helped me so much with this, with when my mind is going to town and you're like, it's not going to work for you. And it seems sometimes at the time that it is working for me.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, it's working me deeper into this story and I'm right.
Yeah.
And then it gets down.
Remember that the mind must be right.
Mm-hmm.
And then it creates the illusion of peace. The minute it achieves what it thinks is being right, then, see, being right becomes even more important. So the next time you have to be even more right, and you've got to fight harder for it, because, my peace depends on it. And your peace depends on not needing to be right. Mm-hmm. Let go of the rope. Peace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I want to remind people people are constantly saying to me, what can I do? What can I do? You can stop working so hard. Stop doing, because what you're doing isn't working. So stop doing and just be. That's where the pathways will be of assistance. Mm-hmm. When you start being the pathways, mm-hmm. and you stop doing the path. Well, I said my pathways, I did my pathways. Oh, really? Then stop. Because the pathways don't work unless you do. If you work them, they're powerful tools. They're amazing. And I was talking to you last night, Kathleen, and I said, hey, wasn't it you when I said a blender doesn't work? You've got to plug it in, you've got to turn it on, you've got to put food in it, you've got to work it. Mm-hmm. And it's just like anything else. Oh, I love when people say to me, these pathways don't work. And I love saying, you're right about that.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of times people that know you so well just think you're an enigma and it just fell out of the sky. And I now know that you have created the discipline in choosing love, choosing love, choosing love. And when you don't choose love, or when you used to not choose love, that you just blessed your heart, moved on. Because if you beat yourself up, which I have been programmed to do, it's like, I messed up.
It's like taking 2 steps forward and 6 steps back.
It's my cop out to not go through the painful work that I need to go through. Yes. And I do look at people now that I perceive to be criticizing me as my teachers more and more, because again, it makes me look at that grain of truth. And I know they're judging, and it's if you bounce into the judgment, then you miss the message entirely, and then your ego won't be tamed. But if you can just get through what they're saying, get through their judgment and say, is that true? Is there any grain of truth? And then when you explore that courageously and not judge yourself for it, then you will change that behavior. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And that's where I have just learned so much about myself, that I have just changed a behavior that so has not worked for me in my life. And I'm really excited about that.
Exactly.
I am, because I finally can see how it doesn't work for me.
Yeah. I just want to say one final thing, and then we're going to close today. You said something just a few minutes ago about getting through it. if you create, I have one dear, Kasha. My dear Kasha likes to have visuals. So I like to leave you with a visual of, if you have 2 rooms. You have the fear room, you have the love room, and there's a door. You can get right to the door of the fear room, and you think you're getting through this fear, and then you stop at the door. Instead of opening it and walking through it, you have to walk through that door.
Through the fire.
Of fear. Yes. And then you're in the love room. Then you have a choice. You stay here because it works for you, or you bow to your mind and you find yourself walking backward to the fear room. So just, if you just say, oh, I chose the fear room again. If you realize you're creating unhappiness, you're in the fear room again. Oh, there's the door. I'll just go back. And that's...
So when you walk through, what are you doing exactly? Breathing?
You're leaving your fear. Yes. You're not afraid. Most people are afraid the love room isn't there. A lot of people are just afraid it's all hocus pocus anyway. Living love, cinnamon, the whole thing is hocus pocus. And they won't open the door and prove to their mind. See, I told you the mind has to be right. So some people are so into being right that they won't open that door and see that there is a love room. So, which room do you want to live in, folks?
Amen to that. I'm picking the love room.
Yeah, me too.
Love you. Happy Sundays with Cinnamon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.